Hello Tacticians, the next event hitting us is going to be the Space Hulk Survival event, coming to us on the 26th of October. As always, thank you to everyone who supports the channel, whether it's through subscribing or use my friend code, as it really does help me out. So, what can we expect in this Space Hulk event? Well, you can see that those are the factions that we can use, and we are going up against the Vile Tyranids and their Genestealer cult allies. As always, we collect points, which gives us skulls, which allow us to open up the Dark Angel's crate chests. And for every chest that you open, you get focus shards, badges, and items to help increase the gear rating of Focus or any of your other troops which may use any of these items, but they are catering towards the Dark Angels. Now, Focus is a very decent character. I do use him myself, although you could argue that Brother Jaeger might be a superior choice in some circumstances. As always with these survival events, you'll be starting off with your characters at the Iron rarity, and as you complete the waves, you'll start going up in rarities at certain points. First Bronze, Silver, Gold. The all-important Diamond is where you'll get the Codex of War, although here they are calling it a Platinum Medal, with the Diamond Medal coming later on, where you will actually get a single Grimoire of War. So if you can manage to complete Wave 13, you're doing really well indeed. But it doesn't end there. After that, you start to come up against mythic characters. Now, I personally have no illusions of being able to get this far. If I manage to get as far as Wave 13 and complete that, I will be more than happy. But realistically, this is what I'm aiming for, just to get these 3 Codex of Wars. But we have seen what we're up against, but let's have a look at the map. So here we are starting the survival event, and my personal favourite to bring into these is indeed Bellator. His summons can make short work of the normal enemies that come in, especially early on. Now you can see there's plenty of barbed wire that we don't want to stand on, and the fire, well, it'll cause a bit of damage to begin with, but it's not too bad. Make sure you pick up the reinforcements, you'll be wanting them later, and of course Barakiel's plasma cannon is rechargeable, so use that however you see fit. Now these power-ups are actually quite nice to put on someone like Titus, as if he does die and manages to kill the enemy, he'll get back up and will keep that power-up. But I certainly wouldn't blame you if you wanted it on someone like Bellator, as his damage isn't the best. And sometimes he does need a little bit of help to kill the enemy. The most important thing is to make sure you do indeed kill everyone. So Barakiel's plasma cannon is actually very good here, as it enables you to kill a bunch off, and then your normal troops, what are you up to Ragnar, can do their thing. But as we're on wave 3, it's very important that we kill these 2 off, because then that'll put us up to the next rarity, like so, and the enemy at the moment are still on Iron 1. This obviously means it's much simpler to kill them with your guys, which is always a nice little bonus to have. And if you're in a position where, let's be honest, I have no need to move or use anyone at this point, I can just trigger the next wave, score some extra points for doing so, and they come in and my characters can then start attacking them back almost immediately. So let's pick up another power-up with Titus. I didn't really want him to run away, and I do want to use Bellator to summon in his chums. So let's mop up down here and do so now. Now, I do have to be careful. Incisus isn't very healthy, so let's move him into the middle and heal himself up. And carry on killing. Now, these reactivate power up abilities are absolutely necessary to pick up. Early on, it's really good to pick up with Bellator. Later on, maybe you're going to want to use Ragnar. But always pick up those reinforcements, because if you do lose a character, it'll help you bring others back in. And we have the similar situation here. We're about to go into silver. We really want to make sure that our characters are ready for that next wave. So we're going to have to kill this one off, like so. Now, obviously, the summons we've had with Bellator before will start dying, as they are still stuck at the previous bronze, and now the enemies are at silver. But when we re-trigger Bellator's summons by jumping on the reactivate power-up, the next lot will come at the rarity we are at. And if we want to clean up, we can always reactivate Titus's at a later date as well. So let's kill this one off, and again, let's summon in. Ragnar will pick up the health, although I could easily see a reason why Incisus would be the better character. Now, we can't get up here, so I'm thinking I'm going to trigger one of these explosions, which nicely cleared that lot up. And let's pick this up. And we're heading towards gold, so who do we need to kill? Both of these two, which shouldn't be too much of an issue. The real issue, though, is Bellator's summons are probably becoming less helpful at the moment, and maybe I should start thinking about using Ragnar's, Howl, or Titus's abilities as well. But with these two Barbagaunts down the bottom really threatening to ruin my day, let's blow them up. Now, if you do lose anyone in the battle, you will get this resurrection power-up, but make sure the enemy doesn't step on it, otherwise, well, it's going to do you no good whatsoever. But for now, I think, considering where Titus is, Bellator will get the next reactivation. And maybe that was the right choice. We've got Ripper Swarms now. So let's summon in the few troops that I can. I think Ragnar's going to pick up the additional hits. And I think Incisus will indeed pick up the armor. I do want to make sure he stays alive. Now Titus is here, he kills someone off, he comes back to life, and look, he still has his power-ups. That's why I do like Titus. Admittedly, he can only do that once a turn. And always remember, you have that plasma cannon if you want to hit two things at the same time. And the tactical precision is always useful with Titus as well. And we have just gone up to the legendary. So carry on picking up where you can and killing otherwise. And I think I need to get Titus down to get even more damage, or maybe I'll pick that up with Ragnar. Let's come back. We want them added to this corner. In fact, let's move onto this and blow 2 up. We should be able to get away with a normal heal. And again, let's keep on going. Now, at some point, we are going to lose one of our characters. I don't really mind so much if it's Bellator. We are at the stage now where I probably could do with a better character coming in. I, however, do not want to lose Incisus or Barrakiel. So let's use Barrakiel here. Overcharge, destroyed. And let's step on this bomb, see what that does. Not as much as I hoped, to be honest. And heal at Barrakiel. Let's kill off some Rippers. And I think I'll howl, as I want to kill this guy off as well. So one has gone down. And Titus keeps himself alive, and yes, Marneus is absolutely perfect. The Barb Gaunts are an immediate threat and need to be taken care of. And let's see what sort of damage Calgar can do. Probably not enough. Now, always keep an eye on who you need to kill. Wave 13 means these two, and Titus survives yet again, although will he survive yet another attack is the question. Unfortunately not, so things are now going to go very bad for me indeed. Although, let's resurrect him. And let's step on a bomb, see what happens. Absolutely not enough. And let's see what we can do to the Lictor. Oh boy. Things are starting to go very bad for me indeed. And in fact, we can see the next tier up is due at wave 15. Now, I know I made some mistakes. This is only my second time going through this, but to be honest, I managed to make wave 13, which means I will get that XP tome that I was hoping I might be able to reach. So let's bring in some extra reinforcements and see how much more damage we can do before we finally succumb to the alien menace. Let's reactivate Calgar's. He might be able to do some more damage. And let's jump in with Matanio. At least there's going to be some summons to distract the enemy for a little bit. But for those of you who have got mythic teams, this is probably where it's going to get interesting for you to see how long that you can last and see how high up that leaderboard you'll finally get. Again, Marneus can use his AoE, not really doing much there. And I think this is the end of the road for our heroes. Or at least it will be when Marneus finally succumbs to all of these guys. And with Marnius about to eat the dirt, I hope you have great success in your Space Hulk adventure.